Yep. And here we go. What's up, world? My name is Piso Earthstone. I'm in the house with my boy Cheeky CP and Education, and we're in the place to be right here at 3 Weeks Later. This is a weekly showcase, your favorite beat podcast in the whole universe. Every week we get together and we make beats and we do a challenge. So we give each other 7 days to follow the challenge and climb the mountain, capture the flag, and get ultimate beat success in the form of a fire flower that we give to each other because we are friends and we are three producers straight from Buffalo, New York. So thank you for joining us. Tonight's challenge was supposed to be actually an external challenge that we were going to do through Metapop Inc. Is that the name of the
Yep,
company?
Metapop. Yep.
Native Instruments. Metapop Inc. sponsored a Native Instruments competition, and we were supposed to display our beats this week. And this is going to be the first week I think that we're going to switch things up because we decided to give ourselves an extra week simply because the challenge is pretty technical and the deadline technically isn't this week anyway. So we decided that we needed a little bit more time with this particular challenge. So hopefully you guys will tune in next week so you can hear what we come up with. But we are not going to disappoint you because in the interim, we are going to have a quick fire challenge, Top Chef style. This is like when you have to make like a quick meal using like peanut butter and, cabbage or something. They always have some weird ingredients if you watch like the Japanese quick fire Top Chef challenges. This is one of those situations. So this is actually going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to this. I think you guys are going to enjoy the change of operations this week.
Wait,
The
what I
idea
missed?
is
We changing
this.
operations? What we doing?
Okay, I'm going to explain to the good
On
people
the,
out
on,
there what we're doing this week. So the quick fire challenge is that Cheeky CP is going to come up with an idea for us to do, and we're going to take what 5 or 10 minutes
Oh yeah.
to
Maybe.
make a quick beat. It's not really a lot of
Okay.
time actually.
So
I
I
don't even
know
think I
how
can
much
make a
time
beat
does it
that
take
fast.
you? That's what I was saying. How
no,
much
let's do
time?
this. No. That's the challenge. No, that's the whole point of it. Is that the time is set. You have 10 minutes to break down your whatever you're gonna break down. In that time, we have to make our beats.
Okay.
Regardless of what they sound like, we have to share them after.
Okay.
And you have to call out the challenge, right?
All right. I'm gonna call
So
out.
so you got to be fair because your challenge has to be something that
You don't have to be fair.
like
You don't have to
don't
be fair.
It has
You
to
don't
be
have to
something
be.
that what?
Don't listen to him.
He finished
don't say
that
some shit like
sentence.
sample the bullet that killed JFK or something like that. Like
Whoa.
don't give us some crazy shit.
Wow.
Come on, man.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
what are we drinking, fellas? What do we got there? You got
I just
orange
made
juice.
myself a cocktail. It's it's like seltzer and basically gin.
Do you
What
see
can I say?
E every single time try to out healthy us? We're sitting here,
What does he got? Juice, wheatgrass, or something?
water.
I got
Got
freshly squeezed water.
Diet water,
No, freshly squeezed water. Fresh off the tree.
water light.
Yeah, light water.
So we got some other topics to talk about too. We're gonna see if we could get all this in 1 hour. So I'm gonna bore one talking about plugins, stuff like that. And then while I'm talking about plugins, they're gonna be doing a little bit of a fire beat challenge. So I'm gonna set a timer over here, and after 10 minutes, if I'm not done talking, I'm gonna keep talking. So you guys will get extra time.
Nope. 10 minutes. Everybody got to be done.
I need to find like a stopwatch or something like that. Oh, I got one on my phone. Okay.
Okay, I'll use my phone.
Here we go. So you ready? This is what you got to do. Do anything, any beat, whatever, it doesn't matter. But the key to this is that you have to use your cheesiest or corniest sounding instrument in your DAW and feature that in your beat. Okay. So whatever, make your beat or whatever. And then I want to hear kazoos or some shit. I want to hear trumpets that are like 1982.
Wow.
Okay, I'm down with that.
So you will get extra points for extra cheese. So this is the cheese.
Oh, we get extra cheese for extra cheese.
Extra cheese beat challenge. Okay, so all right. I'm gonna tell you when I'm starting. So I'm going to my stopwatch. You guys better get yourself situated. You get extra time to get yourself situated. While they are making this beat, I'm gonna be talking to everybody just about 3 beats later. If you don't know what the show is, and I'm gonna be talking about just stuff about beat making basically throughout the next 10 minutes. Then we'll stop, listen to some music, listen to the beat that they created, and then we'll go from there. So here we go, and we got 10 minutes going, and I'm starting it right now. Bam!
Going in.
Hurry up. Okay, so while they're making the beats, I just want to give a little bit more insight into what 3 Beats Later is. So if this is your first time hanging with us, we are a weekly broadcast. We get together with producers. As you can see, and everybody has a different, music history, background, resume, and we kind of get together and make music together and talk about making music together. So you'll see that every week there's a theme, and the theme is basically the style of beat that we have just put together in the last 6 days. So this last episode, two episodes, or actually, last week, what we had to do was create a beat that sounded like kind of like a Kanye track. So a Kanye type beat is what we put together. And we shared that, we kind of critiqued ourselves. From time to time, we will also bring on other producers and other musicians. So a couple weeks ago, we had another producer come through and partake in the challenge. And we actually have another producer coming up in about 2 weeks to join in on the fun. So he's going to join in on the challenge as well. So you out there, any producer, songwriters, beat makers, whatever it is that you do, if you're making music, when we spin the wheel and we choose the challenge, what we want you to do is make music with us throughout that week, share the music with us. So you can get a hold of us if you just send an email to 3BL at 3beatslater.com, 3BL at 3beatslater.com. And that's the best way to kind of get a hold of us and send us your music. You can follow us online on Instagram, on Twitter. Those handles are just at 3beatslater. We're pretty active on Twitter, and pretty soon we'll be starting to be a little bit more active on Instagram. So 2 minutes of Pat, and I don't know how the hell you make a beat in 10 minutes. So I think E is the master at the quick beat. So we'll see what he could do. If I were to place a bet, I'd say I've seen E put together some crazy beats in like a short period of time. Okay. What I wanted to talk about, we were to talk a little bit about plugins, and then I wanted to talk to P about kind of get like the lyricist's point of view when kind of looking at new beats and stuff like that, because P is a resident rapper, so he also raps. He has some really good music out there you should check out if you don't know about him. So we're going to talk about that, and then I know E wanted to talk about some stuff too. So we're going to chit chat a little bit about beat making. But with that said, I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to talk a little bit about plugins, and we're going to talk about signal chain. So that is the topic of my discussion. Give me 1 second while I share my screen. All right, word, here we are. Okay. So let me make sure my audio is all right. And we are good. Okay. So a while back, while we were just kind of hanging out, P was talking to me about, plugins and effects and all this stuff. And he asked me a question. He was like, Corey, how do you know about all these different plugins and like how they work and stuff like that? And the answer to that question is I've been playing guitar since I was 11, right? So a really long time. And there are some fundamentals that you learn when you play guitar, about how you take the raw tone from your guitar and put it through all the different types of guitar pedals that you have. So you take like a really clean sound and then you make that dirty and like distorted or whatever. And finally it enters into the amp, and that enters into the sound system. So you could, hear the actual music being played. So I want to go through those fundamentals because they actually help me when I'm making beats, because some of those fundamentals um, are the same basically for your DAW and when you are adding effects into your DAW. So guitar pedals and guitar players think of things kind of this way, the signal chain, right? So I'm opening up an image here. I don't even know if I can get the full image of this. What is this? Copy link, open image in new tab. Yes, that's what we want to do. Here it is, signal chain. Bam. So this is kind of how I think about anything that I'm putting in my DAW. Okay, if I have a keyboard, if I have some vocals, if I have guitar, in a very basic level, I'm kind of doing this type of thing. And there are different rules. There are different kind of mindsets or theories behind what should really go first. And a lot of times you hear producers really kind of battle about these things and argue over, oh, well, you should put the EQ first, or you should put the compressor first. So you're always going to have like people kind of arguing over it. At the end of the day, you have to kind of trust your ear and listen to what sounds good, right? So if it sounds good one way, better than the other way, just go with the way that it sounds the best. But really what's happening here is you can see in this image, actually, I'm hoping you can see my image. I don't think you can see my image. I'm going to go and stop sharing, and I'm going to share this screen instead. Let me share this one. Okay, here we go. Now we're talking. Okay, so here's the image. Okay, so let me just make sure we're all good here. Okay, perfect. I am sharing the screen. So this image, this is kind of how I'm looking at things. You take the raw signal, which is the guitar, and it goes through all your different effects. These are your effects, and this black line is kind of the signal going through from the guitar all the way to the end into the amp. And really what you're doing is you're putting it through different types of effects first. So the way that this is organized in this schematic here is you have effects that affect dynamics first. Then you'll go through the effects that produce some sort of tone, so like distortion. And then you go through some effects that will modify the tone. So here in this example, it's flanger, phaser, chorus. And then you go through pedals that are going to do something with the sound, right? So you might, add some delay at the very end, and then pedals that create space or ambiance, right? Or ambience. And here at the end is reverb. And that's kind of exactly what you do in the DAW too, right? I use Logic, and in Logic, it actually organizes things for you to a certain extent. So I'm going to open up my Logic screen again and just show you exactly how this looks in Logic. So let me go back, and now I'm going to share this screen. Okay, here we are. So I have a raw guitar tone here in this track, and we're going to just play around with this. So let's zoom in a bit. Here's my guitar, and I'm just going to play just the guitar right now. Okay, so that guitar has some effects on it, but let me strip everything away. So on Logic, on the left-hand side of this screen, you can see this is your signal chain. You have raw sound going kind of from the top here all the way down, going through these things in this order. And the order is really what we're talking about that's important. So I'm going to play this again with no effects. Okay, you can barely hear that, right? because the sound that I recorded was actually really, really flat, and it was not sent through like a preamp or anything like that. So I had really thin guitar. And at the end of all of that, just by adding these different effects, I was able to take that really thin guitar and get this sound. So the cool thing is when you look at Logic, these little things, these little like little strips on the left-hand side here are different effects. And the first effect, this is actually the compressor. If I click on this small little sliver right here, this opens up the compressor. The next thing that you can see underneath that is this little drawing here of this little arch. That is the EQ, right? So already what we're doing is we're kind of following what you saw in that schematic earlier by taking raw sound and then going through first a compressor, which is going to change the dynamic level, then the EQ, which we're kind of shaping the tone. And then from here, we go through, so compressor is listed, then EQ. So this is the order, compressor, then EQ. The next one down is delay, so echo, right? It's kind of like a time-based effect closer to the end of that schematic. And then the last one is the reverb, right? So that's how I think about it when I'm messing with any sound, really, is I'm trying to recreate how I put my guitar chain, my guitar signal through to the amplifier, basically. And you'll notice when you're playing around with any sound, you kind of follow those same rules, and you'll get different result, right? I'm sorry, the same result. Now, if you want different results, if you change the order of all these things, it can sound just a little bit different. Sometimes that sound isn't really great. So for instance, let's just kind of put this in the exact opposite order. And I'm gonna take this track and I'm gonna duplicate this track. So let's make a duplicate. Sorry, I'm like fairly new to Logic, so I need to like learn how to do all this stuff. Okay, I know how to do it. You go here, slide this up. Okay, just gonna do a little option drag. Here we go. And I'm going to solo just one of these. There, I just don't want to mess anything up on this track. Okay, so here's my duplicate, and I'm going to mess around with these. Let's put it in the exact opposite order. So that there, this there, this there. Okay, there's that order, right? Versus this order. I'm going to mute that guy and go back here. So it's very subtle, but you could hear kind of like some tonal differences just because the way that the EQ is hitting in the beginning in this track and then at the end in the other track. So this gets more audible when you add different modulation effects. And that's what we'll do next. So just by adding something like, let's just say we're going to add some modulation. Let's go and add a, let's see, what sounds good? Chorus, stereo chorus. And we're gonna edit at the very beginning. We're gonna make this pretty loud actually. So let's go back to the chorus and we'll do the rate pretty high and the mix will bring it up like 50%. So let's listen to it. So very, prevalent chorus up front on this mix now. So I'm going to basically just take this same exact one and duplicate it. Where are we? We got guitar 1 and guitar 1. I need to just go and copy this chorus, bring it over. I'm gonna bring it to the bottom. So now let's listen to this track where the chorus is at the very end. Oh wait, I messed that up. Let me bring the chorus over. Sorry about that. Chorus. Okay, now let's do it. Whoa. Okay, that's pretty prevalent. Now let me solo the other version. Let's do a little A-B. Let's do it one more time. All right, still subtle. Let's add some different effects. Let's do a distortion really quick. Phase distortion, stereo. Cool. So this is at the very end. Let's bring it to the top. Let's bring it to the first thing in the chain. Okay, here we go. Okay, that sounds wild now, right? Now let's put it at the end of the chain at the other one. Doot, doot. Here we go. A, B. Okay, so now you can really tell the difference, right? It's because we're putting the last thing on the chain is we're taking this signal that's been affected all the way down and we're adding a phase distortion at the very end. So here you can tell a big difference, and it's just one difference. These are all the same effects with the same exact settings on it. You have one that sounds like this, where we're putting a distortion at the top of the chain where a distortion should be closer to, versus at the end of the chain. Well, I'll listen to it now. Here we go. So that's just one thing to kind of keep in the back of your pocket, is like thinking about signal chain. When you talk about like people who are master mixers, they have their own set of rules and ways that they think about it. It is in that same type of thought, right? Dynamics first, distortions, then you hit your, your modulation, then your time-based plugins, and then you're going to end it with some reverb, right? And here in this example, same exact effects, just changing the order of them is going to have a really, really big difference on the total sound, right? And with that said, enough of my talking here. I'm going to go. I gave them 17 minutes. That's way too much time. Okay. So cheesy beat battle coming up, right? Cha. Time's up. Time's up. Time's up. They got 7 extra minutes to make a beat. 7.
I'm ready.
You ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
E, are you ready? What is he doing? Is this extra time? See what he did? He covered his screen.
Yep, he's cheating. I'm ready to go.
Huh? Oh, you ready? I can't hear you.
I'm ready.
He has to unmute himself.
All right.
I had to unplug my mic to plug in my keyboard.
Wait, who's sharing?
Me.
He's not only is he ready, but he's sharing first.
Right.
These are all extra points.
My name is Piso Earthone. This is my quick fire make a cheesy beat for cheeky CP challenge. Here we go.
happened?
I don't know. We missed his audio. P, where's your audio?
Oh, oops. I don't know how that happened.
That was it though. Did we miss anything?
Yeah, that was all I did in the 17.
What was the name of that?
I didn't even save it. I literally didn't even save the beat. I guess I should save it. I'm gonna save it as back. It's not really worth saving. It's a pretty bad beat actually. But that was fun to do.
Don't you? You should always save it. You never know.
All right, I'll save it.
New theme song.
Okay.
All right. Wait. I got questions.
Yep. What's that?
What was that cheesy sound? What was the feature of there? What was that called?
It was a choir, like a little singing choir.
Oh, really?
It was like I try to find a cheesy version of it though.
Yeah, you succeeded.
I wanted something that seemed really annoying sounding.
He said you succeeded. Damn.
All right.
You asked for it. That was you.
Yeah, no, that's you. Yes, this is working out perfectly. Ease up. Look at him.
Let's go, E.
Look at him.
You ready?
Putting finishing touches on. Yep.
Yep.
Let's do it. All right. Where we are with the share. Here we go. Okay. Hold up. Make sure this works. Can you hear? You can hear that, right? All right, sweet. All right. This is something a little whipped up, but a challenge, quick fire challenge. And as a child, all right. I didn't layer it, but I made the beat. So I am going to try to solo things in order here. So let's see. This is your instrument that you requested. That's your little 10-minute beat.
In the night, I feel you coming. When you coming by my spot.
Yeah, you cheated.
How would I cheat?
You're gonna make that beat in 17 minutes.
I just made it's called cheesy. I just made the beat. It's the
You
first beat.
sampled. There's a sample in there.
There's no sample anywhere.
What's that? Why is that
MIDI
at the bottom?
audio?
Because this is my play beat.
Shake
Shook down to a track.
Yo, 91. This beat would be. We just need a female singer on that.
Right.
You cheated.
No, there's no sample here. Listen, this is play beat. This is play beat.
Yeah,
this
you played a song.
No. This is no. This is play beat. And like Corey showed me, so my CPU doesn't max out to bump it down to an audio track. So I bumped it to an audio track. So this is what you're seeing. This is all you're seeing right here. That's it. There's no samples in this beat. And if there was a sample, I mean, we could sample in 10 minutes. You said use anything, but I didn't. I would have loved to sample something, but I ain't had the time to find another sample. So anyway, now that you're done claiming that I cheated,
10-minute beats.
P, you
There
go
we
next.
go.
Me and Corey.
Oh no, you don't understand how slow I am. Do you realize that? I've been telling you so every once in a while E has these 30-minute beat sessions, and over a period of 30 minutes, like I found my snare. You know what I mean? Like I'm not able to work under that pressure.
All right. Well, I will. Did I ever go over? I went over ripcord before, right?
You gave
break it down.
You gave like a 2-minute on.
Oh yeah, because you're
on
asking what's my favorite VSTs.
No, on the manic joint, and he was like, "Hey, you got ripcord to work," and then you were like, "Yeah," and then you were like, "Bow, bow, bow, bow." But if you want to go over that like a little bit,
so I'll go over two together. I'll go over play beat and ripcord. And so real quick, I'm still sharing already. So I'm gonna go over play beat and ripcord.
Are we doing another beat challenge in the meantime, or?
Yes, I'm challenging you. Beat challenge.
So now it's me versus Corey?
No, it's you versus you, because Corey's not gonna do it.
No, I mean I'll go, but it's gonna be I'll share what I get. I don't know what.
Okay, so
you gotta make a
challenge.
Don't give us no sampling Martin Luther King Jr. speech backwards or nothing like that.
Yeah, I agree. None of that. Wait, how do I get in?
At the night, you know.
Wait, you know what I was thinking when I was making that?
Cheating beat.
Janelle, shut up, P. This is not. Listen, whatever, man. I was thinking of Take Me Back to Wonderland, the Wonderland joint by Janelle Monáe. That's what I was hearing in my head. So anyway, I'm going to do this. Corey, you want to set another timer since you got the timer up?
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to load in technically 3 VSTs, but I'm only going to talk about 2. So I am going to load in my play beat, which is right here, what you see. I'm also going to load in, I guess I'll load in labs.
What is the challenge, though? We need to know what our
challenge is. See, I don't know how well you can sample. So the challenge is make a beat with a
sample challenge.
Yes,
I can't sample right now.
No, that's why I said I'm not. That's why I said I won't do that for you. So I need you to make a 86 BPM beat with a synth lead.
Okay.
All right, you ready? Look. We're live. Go.
All right, everybody mute up. All right, I am looking for a ripcord though. Uh-oh. All right, well, I'm going to just do labs then because ripcord is not on this Ableton, apparently. So I'm going to go over Spitfire Audio Labs, and I'm going to go through some of the things that you can use and get with this program. So Spitfire Audio Labs is super, super, super dope. I know we've touched on this before, but I'm going to break down some of what makes it such an amazing tool for producers. Number one, most of the sounds you're going to hear are free. And not free trial, not free sometimes. And they don't change pitch after you save your track. They're just free. And so I love that because getting back into this thing, I didn't have a lot of money to invest in determining what the best VSTs were. So I was able to grab this right here. It's actually the first VST that I got when I came back into production recently. And I was very excited about the fact that they had so much stuff. Quality of sound was so amazing and it was free. So I'm gonna play a couple things, but this is the soft piano on Spitfire Labs audio. So that's just like the little piano they have, and you can change a couple of different things in here. And they have a lot of different sounds, a lot of really, really dope sounds. And the beauty of this is that they're all sampled by an actual orchestra in an orchestra studio. So even like the strings, they have the strings ensemble. So yeah, that is again just Spitfire Labs audio. They have a couple of guitars, electric guitar. So Spitfire, what I like the most is that they have these interesting sounds. So like they have a whole sound bank of just sleigh bells. And yeah, so you could just really kind of just get in with anything that they have. Lots of different sounds, experimental sounds, and like a bunch of different things. So this is atmosphere sound. So see, hearing that right there makes me want to make a beat because I could just throw that in the background, like that Lupe track, Gold Watch, where he had that random talking in the background. I could just throw this in the background. So something like that, just something as simple as that just makes a little bit of a difference in the track. So I love that. I love that kind of stuff. City Pluck. So let me show you how to get Spitfire Labs. So basically you go to Spitfire Audio, their website. And then when you get to their website, you just download the installer. They have an installer. And then when you get the installer, I'll actually show that here. So give me a second. So when you get to Spitfire's site, after you download the Spitfire Audio downloader, these are all of the sounds that they have that are free. And I believe there's actually some new ones. There's actually some kind of a Arctic Swell that's supposed to be a new one that I didn't have yet. But all of these are just free sounds you can get, and these are like they're not thin. You know what I'm saying? There's heavy sounds. A lot of these banks are like a gig or more. Worth of sounds. So imagine you getting a gigabyte of sounds for free, right here, like right here, Arctic Swells. So these are, again, sounds, you just grab them. Like right now, I'm just downloading them. So these two are downloading. And once they're done, they'll load right into my DAW. So it's incredible how simple they made it for you. They do have some that are paid. They have a lot of them that are paid. But if you're a producer that's looking to get started and you want some really, really good crisp sounds, especially, you can't go wrong with orchestra sounds. I would definitely recommend Spitfire Audio just to get you started. They don't have like some of the standard sounds you would want, like French horns, things like that individually. They don't have those sounds for free in this situation, but they do have tons of stuff you can just grab, put your hands on, and get to work right away without wasting a bunch of time. So yeah, I really recommend this platform for getting sounds and getting things that you would like. So I don't know how much time I have left, but because I don't have the other Oh, I have, yeah. So I think that I'm going to make a beat for y'all using Spitfire Audio Labs, and I'll just join in the challenge. So I have like 4 minutes or 3 minutes, or so we'll see. We'll see what we can do. Maybe we can, maybe we can, maybe we can't. So I'm gonna use play beat to show you how to make the drum pattern real quick and easy. So there's lots of ways you can do it. You can either hit this shuffle button once you have your sounds loaded, and it'll shuffle all of your patterns. I typically program my own patterns in here just because I like it. I just like the way that they that this goes. I like the way this is set up. So hang with me, y'all. We in here. Got my hat. All right, what we got here? And last, I just need a kick. That works right there. So I'll just grab this little grimy kick, throw it in here. So now 86 BPM is what we got to do. So we are in here. We're gonna go ahead and just rock with that. Leave it as bare as possible when on the kick into things. And we're gonna play around in these labs right here. All right, so I'm gonna do something real basic. Keep this real basic. Nah, I don't like that at all. That's what we got. What time we got? We got like 30 seconds left. I don't know if I'm making a beat, guys. I don't know. Okay, we can run with that. We can run with that, but we're gonna have to eliminate this whole beat we got right here. Start this thing over. So this is a very rare week, y'all. Y'all got us making random beats on here. I'm making a 3-minute beat right now. They making beats. Everybody's cooking. Corey bobbing his head like he found something. Okay. P over there, knob mastering it up. This is a rare week, y'all. Y'all got us in rare form right now. So that's the timer. Time is up. All right. Well, guys, I didn't get a chance to make a beat, but let's hear what these dudes got. Who's ready to go? Don't you all jump at one time. Now I know that Corey heard me because Corey held up the timer. Yo, P. These guys, man.
Okay, this is just stupid.
Nah. It's lovely, man. Listen.
No, it's dumb.
I guess Corey, you want to go first, or
Oh,
No, Corey doesn't want to go first.
all right.
I mean, yeah, I do because I want to get this over with.
Oh, boom! There we go.
Hang on one second.
All right.
Hang on. Oh man, so bad. Okay, this is what you call. This was the cheesy one. Okay, here we go. Second. Logic. Let's share this. Share the audio. 10-minute beats. Synth lead. You heard it here first. New hit single.
No hit single. There it is.
Wait, could you hear that at all or no?
Nah.
All right, here we go.
It's so hot, it don't have a sound.
I want you to bang this in the clubs. Here we go.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. Is it over?
Wow, that's way higher than my beat.
Yeah, y'all was going in with this whole challenge thing, man.
I don't even have, I want to just say I don't have my MIDI controller connected. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
I hear someone saying excuses in the background.
Let's get mute my audio.
Wait. Okay. All right. Nice. So, well, I broke down Spitfire Labs. I thought I was gonna break down Ripcord, but for some reason Ripcord's not in my Ableton. It would take me too long to load it in. I just got a different Ableton like a couple days ago, so that's why. But yeah, anything you want to show people, P, man? We gotta
So Selena. Okay.
yeah, if you want.
Oh, wait. If he has something to show, yeah, show it. But I was saying in the chat, I wanted to talk to you about a rapper's perspective on working with producers. Can we have that discussion right now, or no? Can we not have that discussion? And can I have I just want to preface kind of why I wanted to talk about this a little bit. So, you know, if you've been watching any of the other shows, like I've been making music for a long time, mainly in bands my whole life. And I recently kind of got back into producing. And you know, so right now I'm kind of just building up a lot of the tracks in my folders or whatever, right? So pretty soon, like I have like at least 12 really good beats that I want to start working with like producers on, right? And I've been pretty active on Twitter, getting involved with the producer community, and there's a lot of people out there producing right now. It seems like just like everybody is producing. So what I see a lot of, you know, producers doing is they're basically just like sending emails out to everybody who says they're a rapper in their bio and just like, you know, crossing their fingers and hoping to make a connection with somebody. So, you know, we have a unique perspective because we got you on our show here, one of the lovely hosts. And a lot of people may or may not know, but you know, you are a lyricist. You have a pretty big body of work. But two things. So the first is
Wait. Okay, wait. Before you keep going,
yep.
is this part of the time I'm using to make my beat?
Yeah. Yep. Wait.
All right.
Hang on.
P, what's my challenge, P?
All right, so it's definitely.
You can give me a sample if you want, and you can pick the sample.
You already know. I want you. Oh no, that's one of our actual Trey beats. I was about to give you a Trey beat sample. I want you to sample the Spider-Man theme song.
Which
the
one?
animated, the OG Spider-Man.
No, you gotta tell me what the.
Spider-Man. I think that's I think it's the 60s. It might be the 60s.
Does whatever a Spider-Man does.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it before you start the clock.
We're at zeros right now. So while he's looking for that, so two-parter question for you, P. One is, what is the best way for a producer to reach out to an artist when they think that some of their beats might work well with, you know, your vocal style and your whole body of work, right? How would they?
Well, there's the
that's part one, and part two of it is we'll talk a little bit about your approach to listening to beats, and then like how you go about writing. But so the first part is like just the business side of it, right? It's like, you know, you obviously you're a rapper and you produce too, so definitely unique. But if there's producers out there that want to work with a rapper, like how do you view that in terms of like professionalism and all that stuff?
I think it's a very valid question. Yeah, and Bradley, wait, we're starting the clock. I would say that there's the easy way, there's the proper way, and then there's like the hard way, or you could say the bully foot way. And we'll go through each one. I think the easy way is nowadays, and these days and times, I think the kids have this thing called the internet. And, you know, just sending someone a line is always probably a decent try. Now, here's the thing. Of course, you're not going to always have success with that. Some artists might be offended by you sliding in their DMs, shooting them a tweet or whatnot. I think it's really depending on the accessibility of the artist. I've never really had an issue with it. If someone hits me up and I don't really feel like talking to them or whatever, I just won't respond. So, you know, if you hit up an artist and they don't reply, it could be for any number of reasons. They just might be too busy, or, you know, they might not really be on their social media. But I don't think it hurts, especially if you're polite and just like, you don't sound like a salesman or a bad actor. I think that's the key. Like some people will hit you up and they sound like there's some weird package deal going on with their
buy two for one, 3 for one.
Yeah, it gets very, very, you know, there's too much of that. There's too much of that you know, type of marketing. And that's what you don't want to come off as. You just want to come off as an organic person. Like, hey man, I really dig your stuff. I think we'd work great together. I'd love to send you some beats. And I think that's just a really easy way for an artist to be like, yeah, man, send me a folder of beats and I'll check it out.
So I have questions there because you brought up some good points.
Mhm.
One
And then
is
I'll tell you, don't let me forget about telling you the other two ways that
yeah,
you can still reach
absolutely.
out. Right.
So I think nowadays that is what is kind of sold to producers is,
Hmm.
you know, set up your beat store, start leasing beats, start trying to sell exclusives.
Hmm.
The way that you can make passive income is by, having these things available. How do
Hmm.
you make sales? People, I think producers are taught a lot of the business side, which is great up front. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But I think for the first thing outwardly going out there is things like just like what you just said, right? Like, hey, 2 for 1. Hey, right now, I just want to let you know I like your stuff, but I got a sale running 25% off all my beat leases. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
how does that
As,
that's
as
like
soon as as
almost it's
soon as
like
you
taught to
start,
new producers. You know what I mean?
right, yeah, as soon as you start talking about how much you want to sell the beat to me, in like the first inquiry, it's automatic turn off.
Yeah.
Because you totally lose the sense of whatever organic relationship you're trying to build. Artists want to feel like you're trying to build an organic relationship with them, not that you're trying to build a business relationship. They want to feel like
Okay.
it's going to be a partnership, a friendship, a collaboration. That's the
S-
best term, a
So
collaborative.
a collaborative effort.
Hmm.
So my question to that is, where at what point do you expect to talk about that business side of, like, if it was
That's a good question.
inquiry one, I'm coming to you and I go, hey P, I really like your stuff and I got 20% off right now. Or I just send an email and say, hey, I think your shit is sick. I want to talk about possibly working together. At what point would you expect to kind of
Right,
talk
I understand
about,
that. That's a very, very good question, and
any
it's
type of
not
compensation?
it's not an easy answer. I think primarily it depends on your relationship with the artist and also the chances you're willing to take. Um, some artists won't don't talk business at all. Like all of that, those conversations happen with their manager and whoever else. Other artists are very directly involved in their own business, so
Right.
they're the ones who want to. And without knowing the artist, and if this is an artist that you don't know, you don't know that either. So
Yeah.
you don't want to start talking business to an artist who doesn't even mess with the business side of their career,
Okay.
because then they might get
That's
turned
really good
off.
advice. Yeah,
Um,
that's really good advice.
so that's challenging. That is not, there's no real answer for that, because I think that's a case by case basis. You're gonna have to navigate your relationship with that artist and then get to a point. I mean, you might have to toss them a couple of free beats
Right.
before you can talk to them about business. And that's what I'm saying about risks and what you're willing to give up and what you're
Hmm.
willing to do. Maybe you have some sample beats that you wouldn't clear anyway,
Right.
whatnot. You may and you build a relationship with them, and then you're like, hey, listen, can I be brought on or whatnot? And I think that's when it's a good opportunity to have a business relationship. But once again, it's a case by case basis. Um, but to
Talk.
to go ahead.
I was gonna say, talk about those two other ways. I think you were
Right.
headed
So
there.
the first way is just to slide in the DMs, or shoot the artist an email,
Hmm.
or a message. I would avoid the comments section.
Hmm.
I don't think that's a really great place. I'm not even really crazy about the DMs. I think the email is probably kind of like the best avenue for me.
Okay.
But once again, you can get lost in the email sauce and everything. So that's the first way. The second way I would say is, if you can get in touch with the artist management.
Okay.
So if you sometimes, once again, sometimes it's easy to find out who's managing an artist. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's out in the open. Sometimes it's a secret. So
Hmm.
depending on the artist, depending on who they are, you may or may not be able to find out who their management is. Sometimes getting to the management is easier than getting to the artist.
Hmm.
So every single situation, I'm going to keep saying it, is a case by case basis, because everybody is different. But yeah, I've definitely seen situations where people have gotten their beat tapes to managers, and the manager got the beat tape to the artist, and it worked very well for them.
Yeah.
So that's another avenue. Now the third way is what I'm going to call the bully foot, and that's just when you really, really want to work with an artist and you just want to work with them and you want to kind of, I don't want to say force your way, but just kind of take a chance.
Okay.
And I'll say this worked on me once, so I think
Oh,
it's
here we go.
an option. Um, there's a couple different ways you can bully foot. One is you can start to remix the artist's music. If you can get
Here we go.
you get your hands on their acapellas, or something of that nature. You start remixing their music. That's one way. You can just try to maybe sample their music, sample their hooks, and put them on other songs and flip it that way or whatnot. You can do the age old type beat tag
Oh yeah, there we go.
on YouTube and Twitter and whatnot. I think there's a producer who actually, I don't know, there's some story I was reading in an article. Some producer actually got on an artist's album by doing a type beat thing on YouTube. And if you guys don't know what I mean, to be clear, some producers, when they put a beat on YouTube, and if that certain beat they feel like would sound good for a particular artist, let's say Ti, they would say Ti type beat, or if it was like Griselda, they'll say Griselda type beat because it's made with that artist in mind. So that can also work as well. That's just the really gully bully foot method. I would say.
That's kind of like that's kind of brings us full circle, because I think what I was getting at was like nowadays producers are kind of like taught this sales method, and it is all about creating quote unquote type beats, right? It's your Kanye type beat, whatever, Migos type beat, and you as a producer are essentially making kind of like the style of the producer that made those tracks that are big, because the whole reason behind it is because rappers who are actively searching for music to lease or purchase will use those search terms when they are looking for a Migos type beat or a Kanye type beat. So it's almost like the titling is kind of built for the search, right? Because me as a producer, I need to sell my Migos type beat to an artist that wants to purchase a Migos type beat. You know what I mean? And I think that that's a big part of like what producers are doing nowadays with beat stores, with selling type beats. It's like, I think that it is very, very, very common. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that that's bad or good or anything, because, I was going to tell you guys, like, what I'm going to start doing is selling exclusives, right? I just want to, I don't want to do leases or anything like that. I just want to kind of, you want to purchase a full beat and don't have to worry about anyone else having that same beat. Like, you can do that, right? But my toes in this whole world, which is pretty expansive. But I think that that's unique that you said that as your third option. Which one of those methods worked on you? Remixes?
I've done all three.
But I'm talking about a producer that got a chance to work with you.
That's what I mean. I've been approached by all three. If I want to say what's the most effective, for me, I think direct contact was always the most effective. I mean, if I get an email from somebody within like 5 seconds, I can kind of sniff out if they're like
a bullshit artist.
Yeah, exactly. And then once I listen to their beats, after about 2 or 3 beats, you kind of already know if they're good or not.
Right.
So it doesn't take too long for me to vet a producer. And yeah, I've definitely gotten some dope situations just from people straight up emailing me or sending me a tweet. It's definitely built into a beat that I've actually used, so it works.
What's your favorite way to listen to submitted beats?
My favorite way to listen to it, like I just always try to use good headphones. You mean like?
Yeah, like people sending you beats on like a terrible platform or.
Oh, I mean, you know,
Here's an MP3, a CD.
nowadays.
When was the
Oh,
last time you
right.
got a CD?
Oh, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, or beat tape, like an actual cassette tape. No, I mean, you know, okay, no, actually, a better answer to that question is in the studio.
Okay.
Um, but in the studio is cheating because the studio sound is usually really good if you have an engineer who has their studio with the speakers perfectly set up
Yeah.
in the room and it's
Oh
really
man,
crisp and
they could
clear
sell
and
you on
loud and
anything.
boomy. Exactly. They could definitely sell you on anything. And then on top of which, just the energy of the studio is different. You're like in a vibe where you're just excited and you're making a new song and
Yeah.
everyone's just bobbing their head and
Yeah.
it feels different there. I think that we used to listen to you know, listening in the car is really good. But really honestly, listening out of like a laptop speakers or like earbuds is probably your best um way to test if your music sounds good because if it doesn't sound good in earbuds, it won't sound good
Yeah.
in the system.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Um,
just like the number one way that people listen to music, right? It's like
yeah,
I'm using shitty headphones right now. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah,
this is unfortunately how I hear most of the music that I listen to.
yeah.
Um,
These are really good questions, man. I wasn't even I wasn't prepared for this level of interview, so um.
I'd be prepared. Gotta be prepared.
Just
I
let me
think
get a clock check before you ask the next question. What's
okay,
the
13 minutes. So let's cut him off.
okay?
Look at him. Look at him.
I'll give him a couple more minutes.
Okay. All right. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I don't
No,
mind. I
no,
don't
no, no,
mind.
no. Oh, he wants it. He's
He's
like,
done. What?
see, this is ridiculous.
Wow.
Did you hear my disco wave? And this dude's over here sampling Spider
Wow.
Man. But knowing
Wow.
E, he has 3,000 beats on his computer, so he probably has it sampled
Can't wait to
somewhere.
hear
Which
this.
version? As he's looking up the 10 versions he already sampled.
I've never sampled this before. I would have told you I would have sampled it before. People would have known because all my 30-minute beats have been with P, pretty much. All right, so I'll go ahead and share what I got. So this is interesting because there's not a lot of clean spots in this, and I didn't have time to find a clean sample. So I'm gonna just that's all you get, man.
Nice.
I didn't have no time.
Like
But
it.
Very,
I
very,
mean,
very
for the time I
nice.
had, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have a chance to find no drums. So you lucked up because I didn't get a chance to show this out. I was
Well, break the beat down for us. How you made it. Show us how you made it.
I gotta do that. I don't know y'all like that. All right, fine, whatever. All right, so I grabbed the joint. Pause. I grabbed the beat. And I chopped it up in simpler because I'm like, oh, I don't have a lot of time to play around, try to find a chop in the sample. So I loaded in the simpler. I pitched it up one transpose, so everything is broken down on the keyboard. I unplugged my keyboard to plug in my mic, so I can't play the pieces. But basically, I broke it down like this. So here's where I chopped it. That's that, and then I just had a little. I had to grab the first. I know I was cutting it close. I had to grab the first drum kit that I could find. I had so it sounds like everybody's first beat right there. But yeah, that's really what I did with it. I actually did not like this sample at all. Like I really don't like this. I never liked the Spider-Man samples, and it's difficult to sample Spider-Man and not hear Timbaland, Missy, and Magoo. Here We Come track. So it's just difficult for me to even like do anything with that song. But
They sampled Spider-Man on that?
yeah, you can't tell.
I didn't know.
Son, hold on. All right, I'm gonna. I can't.
We're gonna get kicked off of YouTube.
No, we're not. I'll do whatever. Hell, I don't care.
It'll be muted. Don't worry. We'll just mute it. It'll be 30 seconds of no audio.
Right. I can't believe you didn't know this, dude.
I don't know what track.
The one.
Yes. All right.
I did not know you didn't know that. How did you not know that?
Okay.
But they didn't sample it. They just re-sung it, right?
It's still the same. Like when you hear it, that's all you hear. Like when someone says sample Spider-Man, you hear that.
I see.
So
all right.
We did it. We did
it. Everybody made a beat. We talked about some game. Hey, did you hear us talking at all? You didn't hear us talking about.
No, I had to mute y'all because y'all was talking in like philosophical hip hop terms.
P was telling us a little bit about trying to find artists to work with as a producer, and then also from the rapper's point of view, how to kind of engage with someone you want to work with. So a little bit of like the business side stuff. And he was very insightful. He had some good stuff to say. I
heard towards the tail end when he was talking about like the different ways that people submit in a way he prefers.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think that it is cheating. When you hear a beat in the studio, it's always different. Like when you hear a beat in the studio, when you're submerged in the track, every track sounds good. I think that's how so many people have songs on their album that's like, this shit is not hot. But when you're in the studio and you're in that element, and especially when you got people around you, that people who amp you up, you're like, oh man, this is hot. Like, nah, this is not the one. But I've been in those situations where it's like I think a track is hot, and then we leave the studio and I'm like, yo, P, this is not the shit at all. So I agree.
Speakers. Those speakers.
Yeah, especially at we used to be at Derek's studio.
Wow.
Yeah. I had so many songs. Yo, I actually made a song in 20 minutes? Like an actual whole song. In 20 minutes, waiting for P to get there. He got to he was almost at the studio and forgot his book. And so had to go back home. And by the time he got back home, I had freestyled the whole song. Remember the drink? With
he was still charging you by the hour. So he's like, oh,
yeah, he's charging me. And I'm like, yo, I gotta do something.
Oh, you gotta go.
This beat
gotta get your
there.
stuff. That's good. That's cool.
He came back and the track was done.
You want to hang out on the couch?
Right, basically. So I enjoyed tonight, guys. It was dope.
Yeah, that was fun. So next week we're gonna do the Meta Pop challenge, and everyone's gonna show their beat. Okay. So we have another week. There's more time to kind of put your music together, and then the date next week. We may or may not have a new president next week. By the way, side
note. We won't know for a few weeks, at least,
until the Electoral College votes.
So next episode we're gonna have our next producer guest just join in at the end of the show and say what's up. We're gonna give him an intro, and he's gonna watch the wheel spin.
Word.
So he gets to see what the challenge is, and then he's gonna join us on November 16th for the full episode and share his music too.
Sweet, I like it. All right. Tonight was a fun, random carnival funhouse type of situation. So, thank you for tuning in. A few weeks later, could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. So,
word.
All right, everybody. Have a good week. Peace.
Peace, y'all.